Okay, guys. We're going to organize you guys into groups. These are new groups, okay? So I just have everybody's last name, so I'm going to go right down the order. So, for real, is it Brand, Connolly, D'Ambrosio, and Derek. You five are here. Okay? No, just right now. Connor D. Feinberg. Hannah Goldrup. Chris Ginn. Sit up. Good. Jordy, sorry. King. Kynes. Sorry. And Koza. Lucas. No. McServy and Miner. No. No. Okay, Lucas, right here. Okay. Neil, Richardson, Schroeder, Sheridan, Sullivan. Got any group yet? Okay. You know where you are? You're in the first group. All right there. My name's Chris. Does everybody have a group? You're good there. Right, you're good there.
Oh, we didn't let your other check.
Okay, has everybody got a group? Thanks. Just jump here. Jump in this group. We'll let this go. Alright. What were you guys working on yesterday?
We were yesterday.
Okay, the day before, you're right. Technical. Okay, remember we were working on our Renaissance guys? Right. So I want you guys to pull out your list of guys. Alright? And I want you to compare with your group the facts that you guys wrote down. Alright? And I don't want you to just be like, okay, he was an artist. Did you get that he was an artist?
Yeah.
No. Maggie, you're right there.
There's one that I can't
Okay, guys. Now that you have these out, all right. I don't want you guys. Maggie, sit down. Thank you. Okay. Now that you have them out, I don't want you guys to just compare. All right. So, Duyere was an artist, or however. How did you say his name? Duyere. Durer. Yeah. Duyere was an artist. Don't just say he was an artist. Okay. Tell me why you think he's important. If you think he's important. All right. Actually, don't tell me. Tell your group. If you think he's important. If he was important to the Renaissance, and think about what he did and what it might have, how it would change the future. Okay. These guys are all Renaissance artists. They're important to the Renaissance for a reason. So try to talk to your groups about why you think that they're important to the Renaissance. Okay. All right. Start working on it.
I wrote he went to Italy and 1494 to study magic. Many of his ravings betrayed the religious of his age.
But thanks for asking.
I understand that.
I walked in and
Lessons are better than no, but you one of that.
Like they call that.
I have the whole knowledge of
Guys, what are you doing there? Talk about your figures.
We're done with Peter Paul.
It's the second guy, right?
Third guy.
Okay, there's 9 of them.
I know.
All right.
We're a third way down.
Erasmus. You're still writing.
I wrote. I wrote as a priest who was disturbed and corrupted.
Also wrote translated.
I wrote called for a translation of the Bible from the I know, but I cannot use one translation to produce new Greek edition of the calendar.
First period, I was like,
Thomas More.
Why do you get to go first?
what day I said. Alright, Lucas, do you want to read us what you got in your notes?
I wrote press social reform.
Okay, well,
He was in England, he made
Oh, you mean it's real. Whatever. Yeah, I bet it is. Not now. You don't say right. If you don't know how to say something, then don't say it.
Breakfast, rebellious. Francis rebellious. Rebellious or whatever. He's French humanist. He's a Greek scholar. He's an author. Yeah, he's good. He got like 6 things on him that was really different.
What's that? That were different? Okay. That's what you have, or who has those?
Yes, everything.
You do? Okay, good. So when you go around, I'm going to ask you guys like each person, right? So I want to hear your different things, okay? I don't want to hear crickets. I want to talk about stuff.
Good. William Shakespeare. He was a towering figure in the Renaissance.
What are you talking about? I do not know what show it is.
I wrote, oh wait, no.
What is it when I call it?
I wrote between 1590s and 1630s. He wrote 37 plays. Good heart. There's a trick how to do it. I'm not going to tell you.
Why?
Guys, come and play Minecraft, okay?
Wait, you like what? I don't know what you're talking about.
Miguel. Day, Cervantes. It's been a while since then. Miguel de
Congratulations, Oh yeah.
Okay, I wrote a tale that mocks romantic notions and medieval shame. What's the name? Right, no. It has a novel that follows the adventures of down
Wait, now I want you to
yeah, dude, if he saw you with tackle, he would grab you. He would push you into here. Not from the other side. He would erase the board with your hand.
Are you guys all set?
Yeah,
You gone through everybody?
Well, no, we didn't.
Gutenberg.
Hey, it just said, do not
Terrence. Gutenberg.
Yeah. Okay, he invented a printing.
They told me to do this.
Yeah, he had a successor. And he also put the paper.
You're like a Caroline
You are a liar.
If he had a piece of paper, then how, if he couldn't, dude, it's just not, it's just not, I'm not so I put this all on.
Whatever.
Now you're stuck. No.
Wait, what did you ask me?
Thomas, it says do not touch on it.
But it says do not touch on it. Hey, maybe the thing's name is simple.
Do not touch it. Leave it alone.
Yeah, the main word, the root word is do not touch.
All my priorities until I graduate from high school.
I'm stealing a squeezy ball again.
You don't know me.
What kind of day I've had?
I'm gonna do that to celebrate.
No, I'm kidding.
You realize that burning is better than shredding?
Within 10 years,
Wait, didn't I say
We're done.
eighth grader? Seventh grader. Where are you at?
Only our class. Like, your first name's Evan. We're done.
Are you done?
Yeah.
What kind of differences did you find?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, you did? Okay, that's good. All right. So I want to hear from you guys when you talk about this, right?
Okay. We'll be the star student.
I hope so.
I'm telling you to do it.
No, it's the star student. Living in the
You're with me last period. Okay? Deal?
Yeah.
It's German. Should have just Yeah.
You guys on Gutenberg?
Yes.
You done?
And then when I left.
You know, like that guy Andre Sosali? Well, he was also anatomy. So without him finding out like how bones work or anything, all of our surgeries would go out. I think since he wrote the book,
Use his characters to offer opinions on religion, education, and other serious subjects. He was a French humanist. Hi. What? He had a varied career. Wow.
Physician, Greek scholar, and author. He wrote Gargantua and Pentagram. The book is about travel and war.
And if you were talking to someone who's authority,
Yeah, but if I don't know.
on religion, education, and other serious topics.
Way more best.
Wait, if you like
He's the last one.
It's honestly William Shakespeare, Miguel de Cervantes, and John Henry.
Okay. I think we're just going to stop and we're going to start talking about it, okay?
So that if I gave it to you, you wouldn't like. So I gave it to you. Sorry, Chase.
All right, guys. I think we're all almost ready. Okay. So, first person. Who I'm going to mispronounce his name. Durer. Whatever part of France you're from, you can call him whatever I guess you want. But someone, raise their hand and let me know some things about him. Chris.
His last name's German.
It's German. Okay. Terrence.
He went to Italy in 1494 to study methods for his painting.
So he was a painter.
Yeah.
Okay. Thomas.
After observing like good people at painting, he went back and brought his
Hey, you guys focus?
Renaissance ideas back to his home in Germany.
I'm sorry, Thomas. People were talking.
So after he observed famous painters such as Da Vinci and Michelangelo, he went back to his home and spread Renaissance ideas in Germany.
Okay. So guys, remember, he said after he observed Da Vinci and Michelangelo. So these are other painters that we already learned about, okay? So one thing that I think is important about this guy is that he was from Germany, which if we look on a map, you got Italy is south and Germany is more north. So he did an internship basically with Michelangelo and Leonardo, learned about all this stuff, learned about the Renaissance that's going on in Italy, and then went north into Germany. Now, when you guys like look at older paintings and stuff, before the Renaissance, are they that interesting? Are they like the Mona Lisa? No. They're boring. They're not, light is, you know, they don't paint light to look like light. It just looks like like I could have done it, maybe. I don't know. Probably not. I'm terrible. I'm a terrible artist. But once these guys learned some of the new styles in the Renaissance, you know, they're starting to make lifelike paintings, things that looked almost like a picture, you know. So that when they're taking all these things that they're learning during the Renaissance and bringing it to other parts of the world, that's going to change the world just like it was changing Italy, right? So I think it's really important to see that this guy, you know, he learned from Leonardo, he learned from all these other guys in Italy, and then brought those Renaissance, you know, the new groundbreaking art, you know, art ways of doing art to other parts of the world, so we wouldn't just have, you know, cliff drawings for the rest of our lives. So keep going. Who's got another thing about Duryea? 3 things, that's it? Terrence.
Many of his engravings portrayed the religious upheaval of his age.
Okay. What kind of upheaval? Does anybody know? Does anybody know what upheaval means? Tsunami, you want to venture a guess? That's what? Yeah, it's a change, you know. You're, you know, if something's going normally, and then the people kind of rise up, they like would upheave the norm. So think about, you know, if like someone took over, there's a king in a castle. You know, we learned about feudalism before, and if people came in and attacked that king, that'd be an upheaval of the king and replacing him with somebody else. So, like you're saying, he wrote about religious upheaval. Later we're going to talk about the Reformation. I think we talked about it a little bit, and that's a change in the church. But we'll talk about that more later. Anything else on Duryea? You guys said 4 things. No one's got anything else? What do you have?
He traveled to Italy in 1494 to study techniques of Italian masters.
Okay.
He returned home to use his new methods in painting, especially engravings. And he helped to spread Italian Renaissance ideas in his home through his art essays.
Okay. Can you guys project to me why that's important that he went to Italy?
Oh,
Terrence?
it could help him like learn these things, so he makes paintings better and stuff.
Right. You'd go, if you guys aren't good at something, just like I was saying before, you know, if you see somebody who's really great at their work, you're going to go to that person and to learn how to do it better. For example, I'm a student teacher. I'm working with Mr. Cullen to become a better teacher. Okay? So that's why I'm working with him. Duryea, same thing, wants to be a better artist, goes to Italy, where all the good artists are, and then brings his, you know, after learning with Michelangelo, Leonardo, and all those guys, brings his new skills to northern Germany. And hopefully I'll bring my new teaching skills downstairs to the computer room where I teach. So, okay guys, cool. Who's the next guy? Peter Bruegel. Who wants to tell me something about Peter Bruegel? Brian, tell me something about Peter Bruegel. Yeah.
vibrant colors in his paintings. He painted scenes of daily life, and he influenced other Flemish artists.
Okay. Somebody give me something else. Maggie?
We painted daily life instead of religious and classic themes like the most popular.
Okay. Why do you think that's a little bit different?
Because everybody was painting religious stuff.
Yeah. If you guys look at a lot of like Renaissance artwork, do you see many like, what do you think is a common subject that's drawn during the Renaissance? What? Yeah, God and like other religious scenes. I mean, everybody was a Catholic then, or everybody was a member of the church, so that was a really important thing to do. So remember, guys, the Renaissance is like a change in thinking for people. So you're all of a sudden painting non-religious themed portraits. That's kind of a big deal because nobody else is doing that. All right, keep going. Sanam.
He influenced Flemish artists for painting, religious paintings.
Yeah. Matt, what do you got? You got anything else? No? Terrence?
Well, it's not much, but he was around in the 1500s.
He was around in the 1500s? Okay. Did anybody get anything different than that? Okay. Who's the next guy? Peter Paul Rubens. Can Ben, what do you got?
In the 1600s, he blended the realistic tradition of Flemish painters like Rubens.
Okay. Can somebody else give me something else? Someone who hasn't talked yet? Melissa.
Pictures are really big.
His pictures were really big. Did it say how big they were?
They said it was
Enormous. Okay. What do you got?
Many of his enormous paintings portrayed pagan figures from the classical past.
Pagan. Does anybody know what pagan means? It just means non-religious. Okay. So then think about like mythology. Those would be kind of like non-religious type people. So like Zeus or gods like that. Anybody got anything else about him? Sanam?
His themes were the artistic freedom of the time Renaissance.
Okay. What does artistic freedom mean?
That means he's allowed to do whatever he wants.
Right. And what did the first person say that he painted with? Did he paint with Bruegel? Or he was one of the Flemish painters? Right? So if you guys think about that, it's kind of like what I was saying in the beginning about how painters, went to Italy, came back, and started kind of teaching each other how to paint. That's why it's important to see like the spread of new ideas at this time. Thank you. All right. Who's next? Is it Erasmus next?
Yeah.
Besides having an awesome name, what's cool about Erasmus? Ben.
Him and the great Dutch priest used his knowledge of classical languages to produce a new Greek edition of the New Testament.
So there's a new Greek edition of the New Testament? Okay. What do you got? He was a humanist? What does that mean? Sanam. That he examined the human body? Okay. Terrence.
As a priest, he was disturbed and corrupted.
He was disturbed and corrupted?
Yeah.
Okay.
People mess with his mind.
How was he corrupted?
Well, like if he does something like bad or if he says something like out of the ordinary, then people like think he's like kind of going crazy.
Okay. What else did you guys get for Erasmus? What'd you get?
An individual's chief duties are to be open-minded and goodwill towards others.
He had goodwill to. Sorry.
He said that an individual's chief duties are to be open-minded and have goodwill towards others.
Oh, okay. Melissa's group. Somebody besides Melissa. What do you got about Erasmus?
Use knowledge of classical languages to produce new Greek edition of the New Testament.
Okay. Why do you think that's important?
What?
Producing something new of the New Testament.
Okay. So having a new language of the New Testament, would that be having a new language of the New Testament? Would that be allow more people to read it or let fewer people to read it? More people would be able to read it. Think back then, guys. Everybody didn't speak English, so Greek and Latin were the main, and more so Greek were kind of like the main ways that people read and write stuff. So being able to print it in a different edition, that's a big deal. Okay? You guys got anything else about Erasmus? All right. Thomas More. Thomas More. Anybody I haven't heard from? Yeah, Maggie's group, except for Maggie. Thomas More?
One fact.
One fact. Go ahead.
It's part of your phrase.
Go to someone and then come back. We'll get them.
Okay, we'll get you guys set. All right, somebody got something else about Thomas More? What do you got? Thomas.
He pressed for social reform.
He pressed for social reform? His name's Thomas. Matt? I'm sorry, what? He was an English humanist? Okay. Is anybody in that group? Kim? He wrote the book Utopia? What was it about? A what society? Okay. Can anybody tell me why that book is important? Sanam? Well, yeah, it was a description of society, of an ideal society. That's where we get the word utopia from, which means like perfect world. Maggie, do you know anything about this?
Yeah. Well, like, and then he like tried to make utopia, like tried to make his all the like where he lived perfect, like his book.
Yeah. A lot of people later tried to mimic his book and make specific utopian societies. They never really worked out. And that's why utopia is always kind of like a, almost heavenly type idea. But in actuality, on Earth, people, everybody's different, and that's what's great. Everybody's different, but having a perfect society really isn't achievable. You think about communism where everybody shares everything and, there's no caste system or anything like that. Sounds like a good idea, but never actually got pulled off. Nobody did it perfectly. All right? So Thomas More. Something else about Thomas More? Yeah?
He was Erasmus's friend.
Okay. He was Erasmus's friend. So, noticing the spread of ideas, I'm noticing that a lot of these guys have what? Among all these Renaissance guys, what do you guys think is kind of a common theme here? Sanam?
He kept learning the things
Can you say that a little louder?
he learned all of the things like his teachers and how to read.
Right. So he learned things from Erasmus. So guys, if they had Facebook back then, these guys would be Facebook friends, all right? So he'd see Erasmus's wall posts and be like, oh, all right. I'll write like that too. Cool. So the point I'm trying to make is that these guys were influencing one another, okay? Think of the Dark Ages like we were talking about. Did you guys see much influence going on? Yes? No. It was like, okay, I'm going to build a castle too. All right, I'll build a castle too. I'm going to have a bunch of serfs. That's pretty much the gist of it, all right? Okay. Ray plays. Can't say any of these right. Ben.
He had a varied career as a monk, physician, Greek scholar, and author.
Monk, physician, Greek scholar, and author. Okay. Chase, what do you got for him? Rabelais?
Francois. Pick one of the Francois.
He was a French humanist. Okay? That's all you got? Does anybody have something else on that? What do you got?
He wrote the novels Gargantua and Pantagruel about the adventures of two giants.
Okay. He wrote 2 novels. What else?
He has a very career as an author and physician.
What did you find anything else about why it was varied? No? Was there anything about him being a physician in there? Like what he did as a physician? No? What'd you say, Ben?
Something different, but no,
Okay, what?
he uses his characters to offer opinions on religion, education, and other serious subjects.
Okay. Why do you think that's important?
I don't know.
Okay. Sanam?
I think he wouldn't like said it by himself, so he used his tales to like outwit the
Yeah. That's a great point, guys. Think about this. Remember, the church rules everything. The church is, you can't say I don't believe in God at that time because people will come after you. But if you make a tale and if you write about somebody who says something like that, that's not you, right? So you guys can kind of see this is becoming a time of like freedom of expression, all right? Okay, Shakespeare. I better hear a lot about this. This is kind of a big deal. Delaney.
Between 1590 and 1613, he wrote 37 plays.
That's a lot of plays.
That's a lot in a short amount of time.
That is a lot in a short amount of time. Brandon.
He enriched the language. He enriched the English language.
He enriched the English language. How did he do that? Melissa.
He used 1,700 words for the first time.
He used 1,700 words for the first time. That's ridiculous. That's a lot of words. Terrence.
He is, or was, a towering figure in the Renaissance.
Why?
Because of all of his paintings and his plays. And
He was a painter too?
yeah, he was a lot of things.
It said he was a painter? Okay. I know him more for plays. Okay. Maggie.
He wrote comedy plays, tragedy plays, and history plays.
Yep. What do you got?
One of his most famous plays was Romeo and Juliet.
Yep. Romeo and Juliet. Thomas?
He used like the 1,700 words because he had a love for words. And some of the words were like bedroom, lonely, generous, gloomy, heartsick, hurry, and sneak.
Okay. Those are some of the new words. Okay. Sinam?
The English language got erased English because of the love words used.
Right. Guys, so Shakespeare's a big deal, all right? He added a lot to the English language. He came up with a ton of plays. Guys, are Shakespeare's plays still being used today?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So Shakespeare's a big deal as far as Renaissance goes. There's even they're making movies about him. They already have made a bunch of movies. Guys, have you guys ever gone to Shakespeare on the Common?
No.
In Boston Common? Every August, there's a free concert on Boston Common, and they always do a production of one of Shakespeare's plays for free, and they do like 20 shows. It's awesome. It's outside on Boston Common, and I never really thought Shakespeare was cool, but watching it and being there with a bunch of people outside in the middle of Boston, it's cool and it's funny, and they kind of do it updated too. They're not saying Romeo, Romeo, why for Romeo and all of that stuff. They're kind of saying it in like a modern way, and it's very interesting. So summer vacation, you guys should take a look. It's fun. All right. Okay. Cervantes.
Guys, I'm seeing the same hand.
I know.
Come on.
He told us to raise our hands. I'm just following the rules, you know.
What'd you get?
Hey, Ben.
The Renaissance came to Spain in 1600s. Okay. So that's a little bit of it, kind of progressing from Italy. Someone I haven't heard from?
My left.
My right.
Heard from all of you guys. Connor, you know anything about Cervantes? Monica, you got something?
You should call
You don't have it?
people that you would never expect to speak. So
Cervantes.
Kyle.
You wrote it? It's Don Quixote. Don Quixote. You will learn about that. Okay, what else? What else about Cervantes? What do you got? It was what? Foolish but idealistic knight. Brandon, what do you got?
He made romantic notation.
Make romantic notations. Okay.
No, notion.
Notions.
Whatever.
It sounded like notions. What do you got?
I got the Renaissance of Spain. There's also
Okay. So it's things that produced. All right. Maybe. Okay. We're running out of time. What else you got?
So basically, Don Quixote.
Quixote.
Point its theme or point was to mock chivalry.
To mock chivalry. Okay, guys. So if you mock something, do you think it's a good idea or a bad idea?
Good idea.
can we do?
No, it's a bad idea. So if I'm mocking the president, I'm almost making fun of the president, okay? If I'm mocking Mr. Cullen, he's probably not going to think I'm his best friend, okay? I'm going to be making fun of him. So if they're mocking chivalry, it's kind of a way of saying chivalry needs to go. Okay, quickly. Gutenberg. He's a big deal.
I got this.
Chris. He printed the first Bible. Guys, you talking about Gutenberg? Okay, what do you got? What do you got about Gutenberg? We just said that. Something else.
Okay, tiny next.
He invented the printing press. All right, what do you got?
He was born in Mainz, Germany.
He was born when?
In Mainz, Germany.
In Germany? All right. What do we have? Why is inventing the printing press a really big deal?
Oh. I got this.
Why? Can you speak up? I can hardly hear you. Okay. Guys, you paying attention? What did you just say? So you weren't paying attention. Okay. You just say you can print multiple copies of things. All right. So see this book? See how we have multiple copies of these books? That's because of Gutenberg. He invented that in the 1500s. That's crazy.
And
Terrence.
Couldn't you also, like, it could also get news around, or like a lot of, like...
Yeah. You print a lot of different things. So, guys, why do you think the Bible was the first thing printed?
Because it...
Maggie.
So everybody was really religious back then.
Right.
That was like their number one.
Everybody wants to have a Bible. I mean, if you're going to church every day. So, okay, guys. Is there anything else about Gutenberg? What do you got?
By year 1500, more than 20 million copies of the Bible have been printed.
20 million copies. All right, guys, we're running out of time. All right. So, guys, next week we're going to start talking about the Reformation. We talked about it a little bit, so you guys can pack up though.